Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to this new chapter in our Forgotten Titans series. So, as we step into the shadows of our past, where brilliance lies obscured by time, today, once again, we resurrect the legacy of those who shaped our world, but vanished from our collective memory. From the laboratories of unsung scientists to the dusty tomes of overlooked scholars, will traverse continents and centuries to unveil the extraordinary lives that history forgot. Our journey today continues with the visionary such as Plato. Plato was this great Greek thinker and one of the most influential philosophers in Western thought. Plato was driven by a deep disillusionment with the political and moral decay he witnessed in Athens. The execution of his mentor, Socrates, in 399 before Christ, marked a turning point, exposing the corruption and hypocrisy of Athenian democracy. Plato's The Republic emerged as a response to this crisis, offering a radical vision of a society governed not by power-hungry leaders, as we see today, but by philosopher-kings, individuals guided by wisdom, virtue, and a commitment to justice, to real justice. His work sought to redefine politics as a moral endeavor, contrasting sharply with the pragmatic, power-centric philosophies that would follow centuries later. So now, follow me as we delve into the mind of Plato. Okay, guys, let's start at the beginning. Who was Plato? Plato was this ancient Greek philosopher. He's often regarded as one of the founding figures of Western thought. For those who don't know, I was raised in France, and in high school, one of the first approach that you have about philosophy is to talk about the Greek philosophers, including Plato, Socrates, and others. So naturally, he was, as I said, one of the founding figure of Western thought. His work, particularly The Republic, have shaped the way we think about, in reality, justice, governance, and the ideal society. In The Republic, Plato envisions a city ruled not by power-hungry individuals or moral corrupted people, as today, but by philosophers, kings, wise and virtuous leaders who prioritize the common good over personal gain. Yet, as we look at the world today, it's hard not to notice how far we have strayed from Plato's vision. The rise of Machiavellian politics, where power and manipulation often overshadow morality, has left many questioning whether a truly virtuous city or country is even possible. This portrait explores Plato's life, his philosophical ideals, and his enduring legacy. A legacy that challenges us to imagine a better, more just world. Guys, let's continue now on as we provide a quick introduction about Plato. Now let's look into his early life and education. Plato was born around 427 before Christ in Athens, during a time of political turmoil and intellectual flourishing. He came from an aristocratic family and was expected to pursue a career in politics. However, the execution of his mentor, Socrates, in 399 before Christ, profoundly impacted him. Disillusioned by the corruption and injustice he saw in Athenian democracy, Plato turned to philosophy, seeking answers to questions about justice, virtue, and the ideal society. Plato's education under Socrates shaped his belief that true knowledge and virtue are the foundation of good governance. He later founded the Academy in Athens, one of the first institutions of higher learning in the Western world, where he taught his students to seek truth and wisdom above all else. Similarly to, for example, Solomon, the son of David's king, where he could see the failure of his father and decided that what he wanted more above anything else was wisdom. So it's a good analogy. Let's now look into his philosophical background and theories. At the heart of Plato's philosophy is the idea that the world we see is merely a shadow of a higher, more perfect reality. In the Republic, he uses this concept to argue that a just society must be ruled by those who understand this higher reality, the philosopher-kings. Plato's ideal city is divided in three classes: the rulers, philosopher-kings, the warriors, and the producers. Each class has a specific role, and justice is achieved when each class performs its function harmoniously. The philosopher-kings, guided by reason and virtue, ensure that the city is governed for the benefit of all, not just the powerful. Plato also introduces the concept of the noble lie, a myth that justifies the social hierarchy and ensures stability. While controversial, this idea reflects Plato's beliefs that a just society requires both wisdom and a shared sense of purpose. Now, what can we say about his influence in the philosophical community in the past, but also today? Plato's ideas have had, how can I say, a profound impact on Western philosophy, politics, and also the ethics. His vision of the ideal city and society has inspired countless thinkers, such as Aristotle to Thomas More, who wrote Utopia as a reflection of Platonic ideals. However, Plato's legacy is not without controversy. His emphasis on hierarchy and his distrust of democracy have been criticized by elitists. Yet, his call for leaders to be guided by wisdom and virtue remains a powerful critique of the corruption and the short-sightedness that often plague modern politics, and even today, it's even way more corrupted than what it was at the time. Plato's The Republic has left an indelible mark on philosophy, politics, and education. His theory of the forms, eternal, unchanging ideals that shape reality, revolutionized metaphysics and epistemology. His vision of a just society ruled by philosopher-kings inspired countless thinkers, as I was saying, not only from the antiquity, but also to the Enlightenment philosophers like Rousseau and others that were influencing notably the French Revolution. In today's world, where Machiavellian principles of power and manipulation often dominate, Plato's vision of a virtuous city and society serves as a reminder of what governance could be and should be. His belief that leaders should be philosophers, individuals dedicated to truth and justice, challenges us to demand more from those in power, less corruption, more morality, and a real sense of justice, where the power can't do whatever they want. that they could be, entitled to a fair justice and fair treatment, regardless of their wealth, regardless of the influence. Now, guys, what can we say about his legacy on modern governance and society? Well, we can simply say that Plato's The Republic work continues to be a cornerstone of political philosophy. His ideas about justice, the role of education, and the importance of virtue in leadership remain relevant in discussions about how to create a fair and equitable society. In education, Plato's emphasis on critical thinking and dialogue gave rise to the Socratic method, a cornerstone of modern pedagogy. His academy, the first institution of higher learning in the West, set the model for universities and intellectual inquiry. Politically, Plato's critique of democracy and his call for governance based on knowledge rather than power remain relevant. His ideas continue to inform debates about justice, ethics, and the role of education in shaping virtuous leaders. Yet the contrast between Plato's ideal city and the realities of modern governance is stark. Machiavelli's The Prince, which advocates for the use of cunning and deceit in politics, represent what we see today, a dramatic departure from Plato's vision. While Machiavelli's work has influenced real politics and modern power dynamics, as we see today, it has also contributed to a world where morality is often sidelined in the pursuit of power, wealth. Plato's legacy challenges us to imagine a very different kind of politics, one rooted in wisdom, justice, and the common good, the betterment of humanity. As you could see from the work from Sharon Diop or the work of Nikola Tesla, there's always a thought behind to ensure an higher vision for humanity and the betterment of humanity as a whole, not for a selected few. So once again, Plato's vision and the virtuous society and city is not just a historical curiosity. It is a call to action in reality for all of us to thrive for a better, more just society. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what can we say as a conclusion? Well, we can simply say that Plato's The Republic is way more than just a philosophical thesis. It is a blueprint for a society governed by wisdom and virtue. While the world has often fallen short of this ideal, as we see everything around us, Plato's vision continues to inspire those who believe in the possibility of a better future. I really do believe that humanity can and will rise from the dirt and will become a way better society going forward, with the vision that will be ensure the betterment of humanity through science, innovation, and also wisdom and the belief in God, whatever religion we wish to follow, and stay away from satanic influence. But as we grapple with the challenges of modern governance, corruption, inequality, and the erosion of the trust in institutions, what we see every day, in our modern societies, Plato's ideas remind us that the pursuit of justice and virtue is not just a philosophical exercise, but a moral imperative. In the world shaped by Machiavellian politics, Plato's legacy stands as a beacon of hope, urging us to imagine and work toward a society where wisdom, not power, reigns supreme. So what I'll do in a couple of weeks from now, maybe 2 weeks, I'll expand on Machiavelli's influence. As I said, in coming weeks, we'll explore how Machiavelli's also a forgotten giant because he was a visionary, not a positive one, a negative one, nonetheless a visionary. Machiavelli's the prince marked a turning point in political thought, shifting the focus from virtue to the pursuit of power. We'll examine how the shift has shaped modern politics and why Plato's vision of the virtuous city and society remains a vital counterpoint to the Machiavellian worldview. And I mentioned this about Machiavelli's because lots of politicians in the UK, in France, in Italy have said honestly that the book that they use on a regular basis was Machiavelli's The Prince. So it was the book that they were using as a reference for political governance. So you see, I'm not saying this out of thin air, but it's coming from, what politicians are actually saying. We'll examine then the dramatic contrast which highlights the enduring tension between idealism and realism in political thought. Plato's vision of a just society, though utopian somehow, but utopia, this is what brings vision and hope, continues to challenge us to thrive for ethical governance, while Machiavelli's pragmatism reminds us of the harsh reality of power and wealth, and the negative influence of these elements have on the world today. Together, they form a dialectic that shapes on our understanding of politics, leadership, and the human condition. So with this, I leave you today. I hope you liked it. Give me your impression about Plato and the impression you have about politics today, how it has been perhaps, corrupted entirely, or do you have a sense of hope about what's happening nowadays? Yes, Ukraine is actually signing a peace treaty, apparently, and negotiating a peace treaty. We're still waiting for the Russian response, but at least it goes in the right direction. So in that view in mind, please give me your thoughts about this in the comments, and as well, please give me a like. It will strengthen this channel, and that will continue, and I will continue to deliver content like this. Thank you guys, and see you next time with another forgotten giant.